Welcome to OnyxCoin Update Daily, your ultimate source for everything OnyxCoin. We break down market trends, analyze price movements, and bring you the latest updates in the world of OnyxCoin and crypto investing. All here, so first and foremost, the markets today have not been looking very nice at all, of course. We've seen a huge dump today on the top right. For example, you can see all the cryptos that we cover on this channel, and every single one of them is down quite a bit. OnyxCoin is no exception. We're touching the 1.2 cents level as we speak right now, and then of course we're going to touch on the possible reasons why we could be seeing this dump in a little bit. But first, for OnyxCoin, this is what we have been watching. Basically, we have these two trend lines on OnyxCoin that have been in play for quite some months. Now, of course, OnyxCoin has been in this general downtrend that we have seen. We've seen this resistance here, this upper gray line, holding the price of OnyxCoin in this downwards direction. We recently saw a breakthrough to the upside of this. We saw a couple of retests off the support line. But despite the fact that the prices have been falling over the past few hours, here on OnyxCoin, this structure and this subsequent breakout still holds. And if Ida Stober expected, we should be seeing this, as the price target from this structure, of course, would take the distance between the first test of support, the first test of resistance. We drag that to where we saw the breakout, and of course our price target still sits 3.1. And of course, to support that breakout that we saw where on OnyxCoin, would it see a successful crossover on the one-day MACD, of course. These MACD crossovers tend to be strong buy and sell signals. And just a few days ago, as we saw that breakout here on Onyx, from that upper trend line, we also saw a MACD crossover, so the orange and the blue lines crossed over just 4 days ago. We started to see bullish momentum merge here. Unfortunately, the price have been slipping, and so if it does continue, then this could flip back to bearish. So if OnyxCoin is going to have a chance of reaching that price target there of 3.1 anytime soon, then what we need to see is a green candle here, a nice strong green candle here by the latest off tomorrow here on OnyxCoin, and of course tomorrow is an day anyway, which I'll get to in a second. But firstly, of course, I want the best for OnyxCoin holders. I want the prices to go up here. That's what I'm wishing for, but at the end of the day, I also want to prepare you for some downside. If prices do continue to fall here on OnyxCoin, then just be prepared for a scenario that looks a bit like this. Of course, as you may or may not know, if follow the 5 levels in terms of places where we could see support and resistance on the price, we use the 5 levels because as you can see one chart, and its coin generally tends to respect the mass places of support and resistance. As so most recently we saw the prices come down basically to the 0.5 FIB tested as a support, and we saw quite a nice bounce from that area. So what we're seeing right now are prices dipping back down to this 0.5 FIB levels. Of course, we're only need this level to hold. If the prices continue to dip, that's sitting at 1.1 cents here on OnyxCoin. If this 1.1 cents level does not hold here on OnyxCoin, the next leg down, as you guys can see, is a truly the 0.75 cents level. That is the next support level down here on OnyxCoin. If 1.1 cents does not hold, of course, if you are a longer-term holder and you've got some spare capital, then these fib levels are decent places to bid on OnyxCoin while it's still at a discount. But of course, if you are a shorter-term holder, then just be prepared from downside that looks a bit like this. Of course, fingers crossed that things start to turn out bullish here soon on. We've been in a down now for 2 months, and it's getting pretty tiring. We have one thing tomorrow that we could potentially look forward to, and if you don't know about it, that is the Fed interest rate decision. Now, this is something that you definitely should pay attention to if you're in crypto, because it could bring a lot of volatility into the prices. We could see this news comes out. We could see the prices move a lot with it, and of course the economic projections that follow this Fed interest rate decision could also move the markets quite a lot. We could see either quite a bullish outcome from this or quite a bearish one. And of course, the interest rate decision and the meetings that ACC company occur at 6 p.m. UTC tomorrow. That's Wednesday that all this gets announced. And basically the 3 things that we want to look out for are these 3 things. So the first one is the interest rate decision itself. So going back onto the calendar here, you can see that the previous interest rate was at 4.5%. And what's interesting is that almost everyone, the whole market, expects the interest rates on this meeting to be exactly the same, to be kept at 4.5%. Of course, professional opinion also corroborates at 4.5%. But basically, if the interest rate is actually lowered down to 4.25 or something like that, then that could trigger a massive bullish reaction in the market. Of course, there is only every slim chance that that does occur, but when it turns to 600 p.m. UTC, you'll find out amid what the interest rate decision, and if it is different from this 4.5 figure, that could add a lot of volatility into the markets. If it gets reduced, that should pretty much pump everything in the markets, so just watch out for that, of course. If we goon to Poly Market, you guys can see that the chance for a 25 BPS decreases, it's at just 0.7. So it's every very slim chance, of course, for the next meeting in May the 7th. You can see that increases just a bit, 22% of people think there's going to be a decrease on the next meeting by May the 7th. There's a slim chance, but nonetheless, doubt out for that. So the second thing that we're looking out for as well is the Fed plot. So the Fed plot in a similar way to the interest rate decision. Everyone's expecting 2 rate cuts this year, so that's what the whole market is expecting. So if that's the thing that's going to be announced, then not too much is going to happen in the markets, but what you want to listen for is if there's any discrepancies. So if they increase it 3 cuts, if they suddenly think that they're going to cut it 3 times or 4 times this year instead of 2 times, then that's going to be very bullish for the markets, and on the converse as well. If we see on 1 cut instead of 2 cuts, that could trigger a sell-off here in the markets now. And the third and last own here as well is to down with the quantitative tightening soup until 2025. So right now, we're still seeing quantitative tightening in the U.S. government. Basically, you can see the Fed holdings a month this graph here, and basically when this graph is pointing downwards, it's generally a bit of a headwind for the whole markets of war stocks and crypto. It's not necessarily bearish, because as we've seen, even thought this graph is decreasing, we've seen stocks and crypto hit all-time highs, but nonetheless when this graph is increasing, that means there's generally a quantitative easing, and that provides better environment for stocks and crypto to dowels. So what we want to listen out for is if the Fed are keen on stopping quantitative tightening. Of course, if they do that, then that would be very, very bullish for the markets. And of course, the moment this information comes out, it will cause a lot of volatility here in crypto, even here in X. And of course, not directly, but with everything else moving, we will also see move as well. So just be prepared for both scenarios, both bullish and bearish, coming from this Fed meeting, of course, right now. I think it's going to be quite pivotal for crypto, because if we jet anything bearish from that meeting, that could plunge Bitcoin here down below its bullish support. Of course, this is the thing that we've been monitoring here on Bitcoin for this 2025 bull market, and at this point, here the price of this bullish support sits at roughly 78,500. So if we get anything bearish from this Fed meeting tomorrow, and if it pushes prices of Bitcoin down below the 78,000 region, that would be very bearish long-term. In my opinion, of course, like I say today, we've seen the markets dipping, and one of the reasons for that could be because of the fact that we've had this economic data come out today. Basically, these two are looking quite strong, and essentially, because these two are looking quite strong, it reduces the chance of the quantitative tightening stopping and also reduces the chance of the interest rates getting cuts. Although the economy in the U.S. is looking stronger than what the consensus and the forecast suggested, it weighs against the Fed interest rate decision tomorrow. It gives less of a chance of it getting reduced, and also the chance of the end of quantitative tightening also gets reduced as well. So I think this is probably why we're seeing quite a bit of a dump in the markets thus far. Of course, it just goes to show you how the U.S. economy does affect our investment share in crypto, of course, but when the interest rate decision does pass, it's a huge headwind moved out the way here for crypto, and it could open the door for something better over the coming weeks here until we get that next Fed meeting in May. So basically, that's really what I'm watching out for right now. Of course, crypto at the moment just been a little bit boring. XNIS still in this downtrend. Bitcoin is still hovering at the 880,000 level. There's not too much to mention. Everything has just been a bit down today, but there are going to be better times ahead, guys. Do not forget that, of course. I am still optimistic for 2025. I think we're going to see new high share on Bitcoin, and I do think. Thanks for watching. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more OnyxCoin insights.